June 19th is a happy day and it's a sad day. It's a happy day because we honor the memory of Dr. Jose Rizal, who is not only the national hero of the Philippines and the one who began the movement that led to Philippine independence, though he did not live ever to see it. And we reflect on his values and his thoughts and what he said. And what he said was important not only for those in the Philippines who wanted to reassert their national independence after 4 centuries of colonialism, it's important for those who believe in the concept of the brotherhood of man.
Isang 50 taong pagsilang ng ating kakilang bayani, Dr. Jose Rizal.
Panatang makabayan. Iniibig ko ang Pilipinas. Aking lupang sinilangan. Tahanan ng aking lahi.
We thank and praise you for gathering us today on this special day to mark the 150th birthday of the Philippines' national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal.
But it's a sad day as well because Dr. Rizal died so young. Think how much he accomplished in his young life. He was only 35 when he was executed by the Spanish. Only 35. The era that he lived in for the Philippines was marked by Spanish colonialism. And though it had become more tolerant over the centuries, there were still limited opportunities for persons of Filipino origin. And yet Dr. Rizal excelled educationally. To have a doctorate and to be a Filipino in the 19th century was really rare. His writing was translated into many languages. You may not know this, but I have been to his house, not his house in the Philippines, his house in Germany, in Heidelberg, where he studied at the University of Heidelberg and excelled among the student body. So here you have someone who was from the Philippines, whose first language was Tagalog, who spoke other dialects, who spoke Spanish, and suddenly is studying in German and also spoke pretty good English at the same time.
I am Filipino. I pledge my allegiance to the flag of the Philippines and to the country it represents. With honor, justice, and freedom.
Well, we know that today, not only here, that celebrates this very significant event, it's almost around the world. Now I
When for my own heart's peace, or to compare you with others, I have sought in the centers of modern civilization to call you to mind.
Now what Dr. Rizal said is that all men are created equal. We know that, but at the time, that was far from the thoughts of Western colonialism. Asians were looked down upon as a race, collective race that was not able to accomplish. And the ability to stand up and demand their rights was constantly suppressed. Dr. Rizal said, we will restore our rights, but we will do so peacefully. He was a person who believed that dialogue, kindness towards your enemies, would eventually win them over and win the freedom of the nation that is the Philippines. And his writing and his work was inspiration, not only in the Philippines, it was an inspiration elsewhere in Asia. Dr. Rizal was ahead of his time. We all know Gandhi, but many people don't know that Dr. Rizal said many of the same things before Gandhi. It's unfortunate because I've always felt that the Canadian public doesn't know the work of Dr. Rizal enough. In fact, when you ask Canadians who was important, they will say, well, we've heard of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, who was instrumental in the revolution that created the Republic of China, and we know other leaders in India, we know several others in Africa, but the Philippines they don't know. So we still have work to do, and the Knights and Ladies of Rizal does have a big role to play in educating not only the generation of Filipinos who were born here in Canada, your children and grandchildren, but the general public.
Maraming pong salamat sa pagdalo ninyo sa napaka-importante na selebrasyon ngayon.